is one of the coolest cars ever, the Chevy Blazer that they first started making in 1969. Well, Chevy has come out with a new Blazer, and it is more made for 2023 or 2024. Welcome to the Chevy Blazer RS. This is the electrified Chevy Blazer. And this actually just won Motortrend's 2024 SUV of the year. I mean, if I'm being honest here, they both are beautiful. I could see a world where I really like this one and I would love to have this in my garage and take it around. But for everyday driving in 2024, the comfort, the luxury, this electric Blazer is actually really nice. So I've been in San Diego for a couple of days testing this Blazer out. Let me show you a few things about it that I actually think make it a great electric car. What's interesting about it is that it is an SUV, but it looks almost like a station wagon. It's low to the ground, it's long, and I think a lot of EVs are going that way. Lucid just barely announced their latest car that's an SUV, and it definitely looks like a station wagon. I actually like the front looks of it. It looks good on the sides, it is sleek, it is fast looking. For a midsize SUV, it doesn't look bad. One of the first things I don't like about it is definitely the charge port. It is right here, it's in the front, which isn't necessarily the thing that I don't like about it, but watch how big this thing is. You touch those little buttons right there, it opens up. Why do you need to have all of these mechanics, all these plastic parts right here and make it such a big area for a charge port? Like, that seems like wasted money. I've seen EVs drive down the road with the charge port door open, and I don't understand why they don't automatically close, especially if you've got this fancy contraption that who knows how much Chevy spent to have this little door that comes out and closes automatically. Can we drive with it open? Let's find out. All right, putting it into drive right now. 3, 2, 1. Is it still open?
Oh, it's closing slowly.
That answers that question. I like that. I have a new tool. This is the Rayban Meta glasses, Meta being Facebook. I want to try these things out because they sound pretty cool. I should be able to wear these and drive and film. So instead of holding a GoPro or strapping a GoPro to my head like I do sometimes in car videos, there's a heads-up display and it shows like everywhere that you're going, like on the glass. And that's always a really hard thing for me. And when I'm filming car videos to show off, I get to like be cool and wear my hat backwards, which I do not look cool, but I'm doing it. All right, Meta glasses going on. Oh, that makes noise, you can hear it. And then if I push this button right here and hold it down, it just makes a noise. I'm rolling right now. You should be able to see like a white thing blinking. And is it this side? Okay, this side. And then there's Ben in the background. So you can see him right there. He's helping me out today at this video. A couple of things that I want to show you about this car that are unique. One of them, with the heads-up display, there is a warning if you almost hit the car in front of you. Let me turn on my glasses so you can see it there. So I'm going to put my hands on the wheel and drive. We're going to roll up to him. Watch what happens when you almost hit something. Watch this warning. Oh, why isn't it up popping? Oh, oh, that was insane. Okay. Oh, okay. It does have auto brake that is set up. Maybe there's a way to actually delete it. It puts on full on brake. It feels like it's the parking brake that's on, and it slams hard. Why is that so strong? The interior is very high quality. I feel like the leather is nice. I love this red trim inside. I feel kind of like I'm in a race car, even though it's not a super fast car. But these seats are perforated and they do have heating and cooled seats built into here. I'm not a fan of these right here. Like, why does this have to be so big and look like I'm on like a spaceship? If you turn it, it shuts it. If you turn it the other way, it locks it. You have limited range where you can point this whichever direction you want. Meanwhile, when you look at the car that you would compare this to, which is the Tesla Model Y, you choose the settings on the screen and you move your finger around and then the air will blow the direction that you want it. I really like that. I don't think we need to have these physical things anymore that can brake and all point different directions, and it just doesn't feel very high tech. It feels a little bit more like the older Blazer that we saw earlier today. I feel like that's something you would see in there. Just old school. The rear view camera is nice. You can change the brightness of it if you'd like to. You can change how far out you want it to zoom. You have a few different options. And then if you don't even like this camera, you can push that and then bam, regular rear view camera with the mirror, and you can look behind there and see what's going on. That is something that the Tesla Model Y does not have. It just has regular rear view camera that's glass there. So I think that is an advantage for this over the competitor, the Tesla. Check out the back seat, plenty of room, comfortable seats. You could fit a few car seats back there if you wanted. The red and black is nice. It's actually pretty comfortable back here, honestly. I do like the touches like carbon fiber on the side here, the red, the black. There are seat warmers here in the back, a couple of USB-C ports. I just don't like these. They don't turn very easily. They feel so old school. I don't understand why those buttons are there. I'm 6'2". I've got plenty of room back here, and I was driving this. So there's tons of legroom in here, and the seats are kind of on an angle leaned back, which makes it really, really comfortable. Like I said, it's almost like a wagon, and certain versions do have sunroofs. This one does not. And then if we're looking at the back of this car, let's look at the room. It does have an automatic door. A good amount of space in here. And if you open up this, you have this deep spot right here for a few groceries, a charger, a little towing hitch thing. The seats do go down, I think. Yep. Oh, there we go. All right, there's your seats. Could you sleep in here with a mattress? Possibly. It's pretty long. That's kind of on an angle right there, but yeah, I don't know if it has a camp mode, but there's definitely plenty of room to store things inside of here. All right, Torrey Pines Beach State Park over there on the left. Hopefully you can see it with these glasses on. There's the heads-up display that shows you how fast you're going. My destination is still the golf course, which is behind me. So it wants me to do a U-turn at some point here in 2 miles. But this is the heads-up display right here, which is different than the Model Y, which I think is a comparable car to this. You've got this display right here, which is really good, but then you have that, and if you push this button on the steering wheel, you can choose easily a few different options and see stuff there. Listen to the noise when I accelerate. It almost tries to make it sound like a gas car somewhat. Like what? It's an electric car. I don't think you need to have that, but here we are. I know the transition for many from gas to electric. It's a tough pill to swallow, so they want their noises and they want it to feel like a gas car, but can we just do away with that? We don't need that in cars. It's definitely something I don't like. Let's not make fake noises just to make noises. It's okay to be silent. This, I'm gonna accelerate again in a second. This is confusing because it's the miles per hour and it's the kilowatts used. So watch this, if I gun it, we're going 213 miles an hour along the coast. No, we're not. That's just the kilowatts hours being used, I guess. Oh, there's the ocean, surfers out there. Another option that we have here is just the full-on map in front of you, and I think that's a useful thing for people that don't want to look over to the side. And then this one right here shows basically the distance you have in front of the cars in front of you. When it comes to acceleration on the highway, I'm gunning it right now. It is not the quickest for an electric car. It takes a while to get up into the 80s, into the 90s, unlike a Tesla or some other electric cars that I've tested. But some cars want to sacrifice the speed in order to have better range, and I feel like that's what the Blazer EV has done. The range on this is over 300 miles, which is pretty good, but it's also not the quickest car, but it's enough for you to get around. One of the negatives with electric cars is that they can be very loud. You hear the road noise. Well, they have this little carpet stuff inside of here that helps when rocks hit it. It's a lot quieter on the inside. These are bigger wheels, and they do sound pretty quiet, and it rides very nice. The suspension on this is nice. I will say the Tesla Model Y suspension is not good. It is very, very uncomfortable. It's a bumpy ride, and this is a much smoother ride than the Model Y. All right, let's take a look at the front trunk here. Pull it twice, come around to the front, and we've got nothing. There is no front trunk. So kind of a negative here. Like, you have all this space. Why don't you have a front trunk when you're in an electric car? And I think a lot of times it's because this is traditional big auto that's coming from making gas cars, or ICE cars they call them, and then they're switching it over to electric, and they're using some of the same assembly lines. That's a big reason sometimes why they don't have front trunks. You definitely are sacrificing some storage that you could have up here. One of my least favorite features of all electric vehicles are the government required noise that it makes on the outside so pedestrians can hear you coming. This one sounds weirder than most. It's like a cross between something from a Star Wars movie and angels singing like that, and it's a bit loud. So it's both in reverse and driving, and I've noticed it up until around 20 to 25 miles an hour, and then it shuts off. So let's give it a shot. I'll let you hear, and you can be the judge for the noise. The angels are singing. All right, now let's put it into drive. Does it change positions?
It's on the front now, yeah.
You hear it? What do you think? Do you guys like that noise? There is a physical key fob for the Chevy Blazer, but you just have to have that inside of the vehicle, where if you compare it to the Model Y, you can just have your cell phone and have that connected. But you have the physical key fob, you put it in the car. There is no on-off button, start, stop button, which I really have gotten used to driving a Tesla. It's so nice to be able to get into a car and just like you're driving. You don't need to push like power or whatever. All you do is once you're ready to drive, you put your foot on the brake, and then this is the drive shaft right here, similar to a Tesla, but you can't just push it up or down. You have to make this little motion where if I want to put it in reverse, I come in and down. Or if I want to go into drive, I go in and up. And that's how you shift it into the different things. Actually, that just put it in reverse. I did the opposite. So yeah, drive is down, reverse is up. So check this out. These are all the different places that have been put in here over the last couple of days. And one cool thing about it is that it'll show you all of these locations, how much battery will you have by the time that you arrive to all of these locations. It does show that on there, which is a very nice feature when you're driving an electric car. Also, if you need to find a charger, you can easily push this little gas button right there, basically, and it searches and shows you this is a fast charger. It has one available at the EVgo. Chargeport, look at that. Used today. I don't remember stopping there, but anyway, somebody stopped there, and it shows you the fast, medium, and slow chargers, how many are available. And so you can easily slide through this and find ones to charge at. It does have Spotify, Waze, there's different apps that you can add in, anything from the Google App Store. It is very easy to use this setup. Hey Google, navigate to Torrey Pines Golf Course. It's actually really quick. So I'm 15 minutes away from Torrey Pines Golf Course. I didn't have to touch anything. I just told it something. And a lot of times with a lot of the cars, they have their own software, their own setup. And every time you say like the word Google or whatever the word is, it'll like talk to you. Like I would say, for example, Mercedes. Anytime you say the word Mercedes, it's like, oh, do you need something? And it's a kind of a pain to turn it off. So Mercedes could improve on their system. This is working pretty seamlessly in here. And make Ben sick in the back. So here's the deal. This is not the Tesla Cybertruck. This is not the Rivian truck. This is not some super fast Porsche Taycan. This is a midsize SUV or an SUV that's electric. It's not as sexy, it's not as fun as some of those other vehicles. There's a train. I get distracted easily. I see a train, I look at it. But at the same time, when you look at the Tesla Model Y, it's the best-selling car in the world right now. They are selling so many of them, and there needs to be more competition. There needs to be more options that aren't just the Tesla Model Y, and that's what this category fits into. It's around $60,000. It's got a lot of the options. You can drive it around town. It has a decent range, over 300 miles range. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think about the Chevy Blazer EV? Personally, I'm excited to see more options of electric cars coming out. No matter what the company is, let's have some more competition because it's going to create more innovation and better vehicles across the board. Let me know your thoughts. Would you buy the Chevy Blazer EV? I'm sure they paid some agency so much money to come up with this noise, and they probably sat there in a room and went over 100 different noises until they're like, oh, this one's good. And then they ran it up the levels of different people at Chevy, and they're like, what do you think? Oh yes, I sign off on that. Could we make it a little bit more high pitch, low pitch? Like, can you imagine what those meetings look like to come up with this noise? I got chocolate all over my shirt last night, so now I gotta do this. So dumb. And on my pants.
Nice.
That churro.
Good job.